Trump failed the war. Trump lost his war in Iran. Trump is a fool and a failure. This proves that he's a bad man. I'm so glad that Trump lost and that finally this poor suffering terror state, this poor dictatorship, this poor horrible anti-human theocracy in Iran is free to live again and to terrorize the entire world and to finance the most horrible schemes the world has ever seen, and that horrible democracy, America, has failed and been put in its place. That's kind of what it sounds to me. All the talk in from the left side, of course, in America about the failure of Trump in Iran, the failure of Trump's war, and they're calling it Trump's war. Trump failed in Iran. But of course, it's not Trump's war. It's America's war. It was America's military. It's America's taxpayer tax money that went into that, but that was lost. It's America who has the responsibility to keep peace in the Middle East. No one else is. Germany isn't doing it. So it's America's war. America lost another war, and that happens, and it is a failure. It's a failure on the side of Trump. It's a failure on the part of America. That happens sometimes. It's not good. The people who are saying that it's good, I don't know if they know what they're saying. Iran will be free to continue its goals to get the atomic weapons. There's no treaty that will ever stop them doing that. They will continue to terrorize the Middle East and also the Western world. They will continue to support proxy states that are bent on subverting democracy and human rights and bringing just evil, horrible politics to the rest of the world. They will continue doing that, but someone in the future will have to deal with them again, just as Obama left the world to his successors to deal with it, just as Jimmy Carter left his successors to deal with it. It may even be a problem that's just not solvable by anyone, but American presidents and America in the future will have to at least attempt to deal with it. That's not a good thing. It's good if you are a party competing with Trump or the Republicans to get power. That's good for you in a sense of propaganda, publicity, but it's not good for history. It's not good for America. I don't know what you're crowing about. It's too bad that the war is lost, or it seems to be lost. It's not over yet, but I assume it's pretty much lost. That we have failed. It's too bad that Iran can keep doing what it's doing. One of the things, though, that I have noticed here that no one will talk about is that even in this failure, and of course American presidents have failed before. That happens in life. Everyone does that. But in this failure, Trump was smarter than presidents that went before him who have failed. Compare him with Bush. Bush went in, one war wasn't enough. He had to do two at the same time, Afghanistan and then Iraq. He put soldiers on the ground. He tried to change the people to be other people, to be democratic, to love democracy all of a sudden. Why would they do that? They don't know what it is. They don't care about it. They love the dictatorship they have. Why would they love our ideas? But Bush tried to do it. The failure was greater than than any other failure that he'd had before. It tore our partners, our allies into it. We kind of shamed, Europe to come into the war with us, and it was regretful. Everyone regretted it. No one got anything good out of it, except Germany. I think Germany tends to make a lot of money on American wars. They send in their engineers and everything, and they, they they clean up and they make money off it. But anyway, but in general, it was not a good thing, and it went on for decades. I think it was 20 years. I'm doing this, not even looking at the numbers, looking this stuff up. But it went on for decades. Kids grew up with America at war, and then when we got out of it in Afghanistan, it was a disaster. The Taliban is the permanent power now in Afghanistan. In Iraq, it's a little bit different. Iraq is a democracy. It's been a democracy now for, I think, 20 years, something like that. They have elections every 4 years. You can say it's constantly on the precipice of failure. That's possible, but it's in recent years it's gotten better, and it may succeed. So, in the long run, that was a success or that may turn out to have been a success of Bush Jr. in Iraq. But the price is high. The boots on the ground, the America at war, this whole thing, this whole muddle, this whole morass that we got into. None of that happened in Iran. There were no boots on the ground. Trump went in and he said, we'll be done with this in 4 weeks. It turned out to be 3 months, and then he realized, well, wait a minute, I planned for 4 months, for 4 weeks, and it turns out for 3 months, this could go on forever, and it could get worse. And if I go in with a penny in a pound, and send soldiers in, this could be really, really bad. It's not good now, but it's not worse than before, and it could get really, really bad. I think he has, and I've admired his instincts before for being able to recognize a mistake or a failure and get out before it gets much worse. It's already bad. He let it get bad, and completely underestimated Iran. Everyone did. It's impressive what Iran can do, being bombed to death and then still, have the intelligence and the cleverness and the cunning to really, make the world bow to its whims is amazing. But Trump, I think. I attributed this to Trump's business sense and his business experiences and also experience as an investor. And that is the smart investor. If you have an investment and the investment goes south, you don't put more money into it. You admit that it's gone bad. You admit that it's a mistake, and you get out. You take your losses. You admit to them. And you get out. You don't continue putting money into the hole that is swallowing up your cash, and that, I think, is the instinct of Trump that got him after 3 months to do something to get out of Iran before it gets any worse. And I appreciate that, and I think that is a great thing. You can say, there's a lot of horrible things you can say about Trump, and this was maybe as big as someone said, this is going to be the biggest mistake of his presidency. Trump has made a lot of mistakes in his presidency. This may not be the biggest, but it's going to be one of the biggest. It probably is the biggest. But it could have been much, much worse. Not just for him as a personality, as the evil guy. Darth Vader, the Hollywood villain, but for America, because America pays the price. It's not just Trump doing this; it's America doing this, and it could have been worse. So I'm glad that I'm not glad that we lost the war. I'm not glad that Americans in the future are going to have to deal with Iran again. It's a never-ending story, and it's not over. And just because Trump is getting out doesn't mean that in the future we're not going to have to deal with the same thing again and again and again. That is disappointing, but I am glad that it's not another Afghanistan, basically. Cheers.